dear friends. Today I will continue with few interesting things from the Russian internet world and answers of a couple of viewer questions. I don't know how about America, but here in Europe it's very popular, all these kebab and shawarma shops or stands. They are all over the towns and cities, and their delicious merchandise has a yummy ingredient about which you didn't know. The key to understanding this situation is that this is ethnic food. It comes from the Middle East, and this type of shops are run by non-natives, so to say. So this lady, her brother, worked in a special division of the secret services. Interesting that the secret services are investigating this matter. And when they made surprise checks in her city, it turned out that 80% of the kebab shawarma shops have this special ingredient. So what is it? So I'm not sure how to call this ingredient sauce, or it's a semen sauce. So the kebab men produce it fresh at no extra cost, and they really enjoy to see the native Europeans eat their produce, and then they smile wide. They're so happy to see the Europeans eat it. Okay, that explains why quite often they have these huge smiles and are very often in good mood. But how come these people are usually Muslim, and practical pranks consisting of tricking people into cannibalism are definitely not something a Muslim will be proud of? Well, this sauce is a perfect example of what I've been touching upon previous videos since couple of years, that this current so-called Islam is something like a reflection, distorted reflection of the real thing. And who spreads it, this type of Islam? If you remember, initially the people who sparked this new type of thinking and attitude in Islam, they were agents trained in Germany, etc., by those secret services. Maybe they were just checking how is their plan, being implemented after all. And not only Germany, for example, was it Tel Aviv or some other town around there, they have an institute, a well-established institute for Islamic studies. And if you browse the official program of studies, you will see how the students are properly trained in Islam. But interestingly enough, the students are not even Muslim. It's actually a training facility which has been producing since many years people who understand Islam very well and will blend very well with the Islamic crowd and introduce there the new lines of thinking. Every year, on the Greek island of Kefalonia, a miracle takes place which can be compared to the holy fire of Jerusalem. The poisonous snakes of the island, they rush towards the central icon during the special service on a particular day without disturbing the numerous pilgrims who are also coming on the service on the day of the Dormition of the Mother of God. That falls in the middle of August every year. Centuries ago, at the location of the current modest church on this island, there was a nunnery, and pirates tried to break in and rob the nunnery exactly on the day of the Dormition. The nuns prayed in front of this very same icon, which has been carefully preserved for centuries. And when the pirates eventually managed to break through the gate, they were shocked to find only poisonous snakes inside. And therefore they fled to their ship in horror. And ever since, these snakes of the island, which are normally venomous and very dangerous, during that day only, they forget their habits. They turn into pilgrims. They come, they crawl through the pilgrims which gather for the church service. They come exactly for the time of service, and they aim for that particular icon without biting anybody. Although in the Orthodox tradition it's very common for the people to come and kiss the icons. So the snakes and the people do the same, and has never been even one case of somebody being bitten. Indeed, on that day, people even hug and kiss the venomous snakes. You can see footage of that. I will leave a link to the video in the description here. On their heads, the snakes have the symbol of the cross. So, in answer to this question, first I will share what I have read from Peter Denuf about Hitler. Originally, he was not an evil soul, and he even incarnated with a noble mission to clean with fire the reptilian nest in UK. That was his purpose of life. But the reptilians, they are very clever. They use this like kung fu tactics. They slightly redirect the energy of the opponent, so it is very similar, but it serves them. And yes, he went for war, but he went to the east instead of the west. Maybe it is true what Peter Denuf says, because after all he used the ancient symbols of goodness. He was animal lover, vegetarian, but the dark side managed to convert him to their camp in this earthly life. He forgot his mission. Did the Holocaust happen? Both sides during World War II resorted to cruelty. Of course, the story is distorted. They have distorted all history. They're distorting even the current history, what to speak of things which happened decades ago. Of course, what we are told is a lie. So as far as the Holocaust, there was something along those lines, but not to the extent and the way they are telling us. And as far as Stalin, I personally have not made up my mind, because still I cannot confirm for sure that Paramonov is the one he claims to be. I'm still 50-50 on that. Basically, what Paramonov says is that all the atrocities attributed to Stalin nowadays were actually committed by the parasitic fractions active at that time. And I don't know if that is true or not, but it's quite well known that the wife of Stalin was, well, let's put it that way, peculiar Middle Eastern origin. So I've seen nowadays when they have a powerful man, that's one way to control them through their wives. And a question from GB from Florida is: everyone marked damned? For sure, yes. Are they gonna do it by force? Yes, for sure. Not very soon. It will be at least a couple of years, and maybe even five or maybe even 10, but they will eventually start hunting down the people without the new passport. That's not only in the prophecies, they are not hiding their intentions anymore. In this regard, just a couple of years ago in Hong Kong, first they sent their squads door to door. Many people simply did not open the door, and the next one they announced that whoever doesn't open the door, they will break in. Is it a sin to blast them to pieces? I really don't know. We have been warned again and again not to judge others, because God is the only judge, so that I can't answer. But I'm very happy that there are other people besides me who are at least thinking about plans. Because where I'm here around, almost nobody even thinks seriously about such things. But the main thing I feel like saying after reading your question is yes, we need a plan for the time when they come to the door with injections or sprays, whatever method of application they will choose, and the reward for it, the new passport. This time will come when they will come and knock on the door. But the main thing is that this will be just one of the traps, one of the offers, one of the obstacles. There will be many others, and often we will have to make plans on the spot because when it gets difficult, we will be probably isolated from the world. There will be no information on internet or no prophecy about that particular situation. They will have many traps. We might be cut off from electricity at that time. We might be cut off completely from any contact with other unmarked people. And the most important thing is to cultivate the godly qualities, the sattvic qualities now, starting with abandoning alcohol completely, using minimum technology, never wear the cell phone on your body. If you need to take it with you, carry it in some sort of bag. As far as computers, please try to use it from at least 1.5 meters distance, if not two, hopefully less than an hour or a half per day. Eat whatever you can find around. If you cannot grow all your own food, just collect from the wild. It just came in the news in Japan that they are rolling out a completely new generation of fixes, which will be one step further from these self-replicating monsters which they injected a couple of years ago. Those will be monster printers inside the bodies which can print to anything alive they encounter on their way. They are talking about plants which are actually hearing and recording, spying on the people around them. And there will be no end to their new generations of perversion and nasty nonsense. And the only cure is to stay away from everything we call civilization, because they will infect us in one way or another, and it will be then just too late. And now let's continue the list of things we could do to raise the amount of sattva in our being. We should say absolutely no to online porn, because that is pure poison for the soul. For those who still eat meat, maybe it's a good idea to avoid kebab and shawarma and all sausages as such. Because, okay, the information that they actually put the sacrificed human children inside the sausages is not really confirmed. It came out from one interview. One of their main priests said so, but I was thinking about it. So many children disappear every year, and that is around those days which that tribe calls holidays, and they have the habit of sacrificing and raping and all that stuff. And they need children material, and interestingly enough, around those dates all the children disappear. And there have been lots of reports through the years about this, but we've never heard about reports of finding mass graves of children. So what do they do with the bodies? Because it's not so easy to hide that many corpses. So I think it is highly likely that they put them in the sausages. Also, it's common practice in black magic to trick people into eating such things to facilitate evil possession. Another viewer is asking, is it possible for those who change Christ to appear, and for those who don't, the Antichrist to appear? And the answer based on the prophecies of the saints who have shown miracles is absolutely not, because these prophets have shown who they are with their accuracy, and not one but countless of them have said that there are things which are set in stone that cannot be changed. One of them is the arrival of the Antichrist. That is an exam that will happen no matter how many people change. And not only that, in addition, something very relevant to your question, Mary Julie Jehani and a couple of other saints have described what kind of cunning philosophies will the followers, the possessed people, the people possessed by devils, will be spreading. Well, exactly like the philosophies you're describing, that you see, the Dajjal may not really come, so don't you worry, don't you prepare, don't you think about this. All this is done for the purpose to blur people's vision and discrimination, so that when the Antichrist comes, they will be confused enough to accept his offers. Unfortunately, I have no way to find out how many people on earth are really changing to the ways of God. This is impossible. There are no statistics of this type. I have only impressions of my immediate environment, where people are rapidly changing for the worse. Hopefully it's different in all other parts of the world, which will not cancel the arrival of the Antichrist. But yet many people on the internet claim that people are awakening in mass, and the proofs they have are not convincing to me, because usually they are talking about some sort of protests. 99% of this type of protests are organized by shills. The idea is to waste the time of the people who may change for good, and trick them, channel their endeavor into saving the current parasitic system instead of developing godly qualities. Trying to save the current society, the current human race is useless. It is doomed. It is rotten beyond repair. And another question from Andrei from Romania. Dear Andrei, I also had such a passport since many years. I needed it for the expeditions, Jordan, Turkey, all these places. I had no clue what the treacherous thing biometry is. But recently I returned to my homeland, and it happened so that at that time the passport naturally expired. I just returned it to the issuing authority, because this is what usually the saints have advised us, until they accept returns, to return anything which is connected to biometry. And this seems like a much better option than violence towards the passport, because then somehow in their system there will be a mark that the person no longer subscribes to this. Yeah, they may even delete all the biometric data, or somehow mark it as currently not in use, or something like this. In addition, you're in Romania, and I have not heard of any prophecies listing that place as particularly dangerous, even if in future at some point of time Romania seems to be in a worse condition than the others. I assure you that it will be just a question of time that other lands will become as much dangerous, and probably even worse. In addition, there is something which I suspected years ago, and that was one of the main reasons I returned to my homeland, is that you see, they're looking for all kinds of groups of people to fix them first, or make a fixation or new passport or whatever compulsory. They're grouping the people in Foreigners, yeah, they're eager to stay in their new country. So, for example, where I lived before, medical insurance was not compulsory for the locals, but was compulsory for all foreigners. And of course, to be safe, they require that you are properly fixed for everything. You know, they care for you. So basically, for the foreigners, it was getting compulsory earlier. Also, I have heard that the Ukraine refugees in many lands where they went, they made it compulsory for them to take the fix, and also for foreigners who come to Russia, because they have all kinds of programs for importing criminals there. Of course, officially these are programs for helping poor people who are displaced and all that, and but in reality they are just importing people who are infected with hatred, and they come and murder Russians. And of course, upon entering the country, they care so much for their health that, yeah, you know what happens to them. And by the way, currently I heard something interesting because here passports are compulsory since long time. In other countries where people are luckier, like England and UK, they still don't have this proper passport system. But here, for those people who don't have passports, they can't take them even to jail because they can't take them to court. So they can't convict them, and even if they do somehow, the jail system does not work without a passport, so they won't be accepted there as well. So in other words, the overall rule, which seems to be applicable for all situations, is not to seek how to outsmart the government systems and somehow exist amongst the others without following their rules, but to just withdraw from that society altogether. And I will wind up today's video with some practical advices for the times when there will be no water. How to shower in those conditions? Actually, you can shower even with half a liter or less. It's an ancient technique. In Wales they call it flanneling. You just take a small piece of towel or cotton cloth, you dip it in the water, you rub yourself, you rinse it again, and you wipe yourself again. It works quite well, and you need very little water, and the result is quite good. As far as washing dishes with almost no water, you can get some of those silicone spatulas, and after you finish cooking or eating, you can wipe the pots with them. That may end up being very useful in the time of scarcity of food anyway. And then wiping or washing will be much easier. You will require much less water for that. So this is how much I could record today. I hope next week I will find more time to forward all the material that has been piling up for the last 3-4 months. It has been just too hectic here. Drought and some sort of green vegetable bugs are trying to destroy my crop, and lots of other things to do, so sorry that I have not been active lately. I hope I will manage to change that.